Hello everyone, my name is Nicole Grace A. Plaza from BSAD English 2A, and I will be discussing for today's topic all about the parts of the Learner-Centered Lesson Plan, which is under the Unit 5, the Learner-Centered Lesson Plan, on this course of facilitating learner-centered teaching. But before everything else, allow me to read to you the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, students are able to first identify the parts of a learner-centered lesson plan, then define each parts of the learner-centered lesson plan, and know how to make the parts of the learner-centered lesson plan. But before everything else, let's have a quick review about what is a student-centered learning. Student-centered learning is an approach that allows students to take ownership of their learning instead of sitting passively and listening as the teacher delivers the instruction. And the rules of the students, they are the one who construct their own knowledge, and the teachers only facilitates learning and scaffold supports. Now, let's dig into this topic. I will be focusing on the detailed lesson plan, or the DLP, which has six parts. This is the key parts that based on my research, will have a effective lesson plan, parts of the lesson plan to how in making lesson plan. First, we have objectives. Second, content. Third, procedure. Third, generalization. Fifth, application. And sixth is evaluation. So I will be, let's dig in first to objectives. Objectives is the lesson. Objectives will determine what the students will be able to know and able to do at the end of the discussion. Meaning, this will be the aim or the goal of the teachers to what they will teach, or what the end of the lesson will have. This is the main goal of the teacher, that the students will meet all of the objectives. So in the context of lesson plan, you can use the SMART criteria to determine your lesson objectives. Under the SMART, we have here the acronyms, which is the objective specific? Is the objective measurable? Is the objective attainable by all students? Relevant to your class and students? And time-based to align with your syllabus. Now let's move on to the content. The lesson content acts as the backbone of any learning experience. It gives necessary information and guidance for learners to grasp new concepts and broaden their understanding of the subject matter. Meaning, under the content, this is the body or where the meat of your lesson is all about. What kind of topic or lesson you will teach, you will facilitate to your students. Next, we have the procedure. The lesson procedure is essentially step-by-step instructions that walk you through everything from time the students enter the classroom until the bell rings at the end of the period. So the procedure are the instructions or the sequence of your lesson plan of how you will facilitate in an organized way the activities on your discussion. So when writing your lesson procedure, you need to choose the type of activities that will help your students meet the lesson objectives, and enable to them that your student will not be overly bored and overly get excited to your discussion. So to do that, you can answer the list of questions that will help you to get your students' attention, that they will be able to focus their attention to your discussion. First, we have, how will you introduce the topic to them? Would you introduce them to through a story or through anything with visual aids? Then, what is the best way to teach this information to your student? Will it be to a discussion, or to an activity, or to a video presentation like that? Then how can you incorporate problem solving and critical thinking? This is the more important part, which is the teacher should be able to gain ideas on how would their students will be able to answer or to participate and to cooperate to their discussion. Then what real life scenarios relate to this topic? As we can see, students will be able will more entertained and would like to engage if the topic or if the examples of the discussion is based to their real life scenarios, that they will be able to relate to these topics. Then they will able to engage and share their ideas, express their ideas about it, and they will own the discussion. Then, does this topic lend itself to group work? Yes, group work is essential because this is in order for the students to share their ideas to the others, to express themselves, and to combine all of their ideas. Now, under the procedure, we have the 4 phases, which is explore. Students discover a concept. This will give the student the opportunity to to discover all about new things that they don't know. Then learn and practice. Under this, students apply their discoveries into the activities or the real life scenarios that they will be able to apply this on their activities or on their reasoning or what else. Then reflect. Students review what they learned. So under reflection, they will able to generalize and to think what they learned, or how wide or how broad though they learned all about this topic. Then reinforce. Students apply the knowledge to problem solving and scenarios. This is the most important, because the students will be able to apply their knowledge. They will be able to use the knowledge that they gain to your discussion or to the activities, to the lesson that you have read to them. Now, let's move on to generalization. Under the generalization is the ability for a student to perform a skill under different condition, or stimulus generalization. The ability to apply skill in a different way or response in generalization, and also to continue to exhibit the skill over time in the maintenance. Wherein in generalization, the students will have the opportunity to think about, to generalize all about what they learned into your topic. Now let's move on to application. So in application, it provides activities that help learners apply their learning to new situations or context beyond the lesson and connect it to their own lives. Choose activities that learners can relate or has expressed concern about. So under application, this is the part wherein you're able to provide activities that your students or your learners will be able to engage in, and make sure that all of these activities that you will present, that the learners will be able to entertain and would like to engage into these activities. Now we have evaluation for the last part. It offers an effective way to focus course and faculty evaluation on student learning. It centers on specific evaluation questions. Evaluators and other stakeholders need to be clear about what questions they want to answer and how the answers relate to the student learning. So under evaluation, this is the time that you will assess or you will evaluate the student's learning. What are the major takeaways did he get from the discussion? So in conclusion, To our discussion, every part of the lesson plan is important and it has its own components that provides with general outline of your teaching goals, learning objectives and means to accomplish them. Student-centered learning is important as it focuses to individual student needs. And that ends for my report all about the parts of the lesson plan.